Take marker, Undone review. Amazon Prime Video first series ever to review by Alamo City Movie Talk. Hope you enjoy, guys. Have a good one. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? My name is Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
Amanda, that Callie and
this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. We're bringing the movie world, TV series in this case, into your eyes, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it. Come on down. This is our first ever Amazon Prime series review. Thank you so much, Amazon Prime Video, guys. Thank y'all so much. You've been really helpful and supportive of this channel, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we had the opportunity to, this is a series called Undone. And the greatest thing about this animation series is that it's the first animation series that I could think of that's actually set here in San Antonio, Texas. And it was pretty cool. I'll admit, it's pretty cool. So we're not going to mention too much spoilers. It's going to be spoiler free. We got a chance to see the first 5 episodes. And this is the 8 episodes of season 1 that's going to be released. And we haven't we haven't had a chance to, or we didn't get access to the last 3, but this is the review for the first 5 episodes, guys. Let's get right to it. Right out the bat, the animation of this it's just so similar to that BoJack Netflix series that we were just talking about, and it's the same. He's a co-creator, co-animator as well, and I just I could just see the resemblance there when it came down to the animation and everything. It was very unique, I guess, in a sense. I don't even know, because I was trying to contemplating it's like a clay animation, or
it's not so much that. I think it's maybe, I wouldn't even know how to describe it.
Right.
But I do think the animation is very different than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Especially in the age of Disney and Pixar.
Yeah,
Sony Picture Animations, Illuminations. They all have their own styles. But this is completely different than a lot of the mainstream animations we're used to seeing. And I actually think, I think the way that it's animated adds to the story. I really do appreciate. I can't imagine seeing this story presented in a different animation.
Yeah, when it comes to animation and everything, it really was this. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, we see in the trailers a lot. We saw the sky view right off the bat in the very first episode of San Antonio, and we're not used to seeing that on camera whatsoever.
It's kind of oh, look, there's that.
Yeah, there's Alamo Dome, there's 35. And I loved it so much. I really did. And I'm going to say this, it just, the character Alma is played by Rosa Salazar. And I really did enjoy her in this. She really showed so much power into performance when it comes down to voice acting. And it really did show, I felt her emotion through the voice and everything. And I loved every bit of it. I really did. And I'm going to say this too as well, just behind the creative side of it. It really does touch on a lot of issues that everyone's going through in their daily lives. It does touch on anti-depression as well. A lot of sensitive issues. And we talked about this off camera when we talked about 13 Reasons Why and how it's upscaling this TV show. Well, this is another upscale when it comes down to Amazon Prime Video, and other issues as well when it comes down to it, life choices that we make in our daily lives and how we live our lives. And it really does contemplate on looking at our own lives in a third point of view, in a sense. And I love that so much because it really does so well when it comes to the storytelling. It really does. At first, I was just when I first saw the trailer and I first saw the synopsis of it, I was just oh man, it's gonna do this weird, it's gonna lose the story, it's gonna lose attraction, it's gonna lose momentum. It did not whatsoever. Again, we did see the very first 5 episodes. We have not seen the last 3, so this is the 8 episodes of season 1, and I really did enjoy the very first 5 episodes. Just the chemistry between the characters. The dad, I loved everything about it. I really did love how they really did carry the story, how it had so much characteristics of real life circumstances, real life situations that we experience in our daily lives. And I love that so much about it. What do you think of that, Angela?
Well, right off the bat from the trailer, you get a sense of pretty much what the first episode is about.
Yeah.
So it's mainly focusing about Alma. She's in her mid to late 20s. She's kind of contemplating, kind of going through a little existential moment in her life.
Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now?
Is this how my life is supposed to be the rest of my life?
She just doesn't want a typical life. She really doesn't. And I feel like we see that.
I feel like I can relate to her on some point. I feel like a lot of people can relate to her.
A lot.
Because, she looks through her life and she sees where she's at, where she's going. There's no change. It's stagnant. And she kind of starts to question, like, I guess her life choices.
Yeah, she really does.
She doesn't want that, like, white picket fence dream. She wants something more.
Yeah.
And I feel like seeing, like, or feeling this way, I feel like it just jump starts into, like, this whole adventure she's going to go on, you know? And I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah, no spoilers whatsoever.
But I feel like it is something beyond imagination. And there's a point, like, where in the trailers, does she meet her dad?
Yes.
Okay, so in the part of when she meets her dad, he does say something like, if you ever tell anybody this, you will sound crazy.
Yeah.
And I believe that she's right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because she has to go through all this, just her and her dad, who's deceased.
And we see Alma really struggle with her identity in this world. Who is she? Who am I? And her sister Becca is really just it's almost to a sense to where, like, I know where I'm at, I know where I want to be, but at the same time she's just like, that's her younger sister, she's just, are you sure? We're crazy and all this stuff. Like, it almost to a sense to where, like, she feels that her and her sister can't live a normal life. And I'm just like, well, that's pretty much everyone we all could compare to it, in a sense.
You're right, because not everyone has that same timeline of
everyone
life.
has a story
everyone
to tell.
Has their own path, their own journey. And you're right, like, Alma's little sister Becca is going on that white picket fence dream. Yeah. And that's what she wants. That's fine. But Alma does not. So Alma is kind of set up as this, like, outside. Yeah. She's a little bit maybe on the outside, doesn't quite fit in. Can totally relate to that.
And see, here's the thing. I mean, Alma feels disconnected from the world. She really feels disconnected. She doesn't have an identity in this world. And I am going to say this too. I actually did love the bar conversations they had, her and Alma and Becca. And I love their conversations as sisters and how they interacted with each other, because it all made sense. It wasn't forced. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel, I guess, fake in a way.
You could sense that there's that, like, sibling love.
Yeah.
So even though her sister may not completely agree with her life choices, she kind of, like, is trying to understand, trying to accept. And we can all feel that way. If we have a sibling, I'm sure you completely understand. And I feel like that's nice to see, because I mean, we see, like, a lot of times animation stories, we see, like, siblings when they're younger, but now we get to see when they're older,
exactly,
they're mid to late 20s,
and we do, I mean, we're not spoiling whatsoever. I mean, we do get time lapse. That is true. And at first I was, when we first saw the first time lapse, I was really amazed how well they did it, because it's not confusing whatsoever. And that's the issue I always have with time lapse. I mean, I'm neutral to it. I know a lot of guys like Justin and Juan that are on the talk show. They really they're not fans of it. But I mean, I'm just like, hey, I'm neutral to it. I'm open to it. Now, is it going to be the first thing I will go to when it comes to a movie, or in a sense to where you do time lapse like that? No, not whatsoever, because it can get confusing. We learned that from Back to the Future. We learned that a lot.
I think as long as you do it to where the audience can kind of pick up on what time period.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense, because it doesn't let us know like a year or anything like that, which I kind of don't want to see, because I'm just like, stop giving us numbers.
It doesn't make sense if they were to say this is this year, because it doesn't add to anything. Yeah. You just see these time lapses include of Alma's, like, childhood. So you see her in various stages of her childhood. And it doesn't make sense if you say, oh, she's 5 here, she's 7 here. Like, it doesn't add to it. So I like that they kind of left it out.
Yeah, and it's a really good story to be told here. And we get it in a sense to where it's, I really did love the relationship between the daughter and the father, man. It really compelled the story. It showed more sense of realism into it, because I was just like, Rosa Salazar, I mean, we've seen her in Alita.
I love her.
Alita and to see her actually in a voice, Maze Runner as well. We saw her in Maze Runner, but everyone knows her of her stand-up role in Alita, and I really do. I mean, wow. Like, I hope she's in more stuff. I hope we get to see her in more Amazon Prime stuff. Hopefully, Amazon Prime Video stuff. And so far, we're in, watching the first 5 episodes. I can't wait to see the last 3. And I really am. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. And yeah.
I gotta say though, leaving it off on the 5th episode
where
and
we
not
left
getting
off
a chance to finish it does frustrate me.
Yeah, it does.
I'm one of those people that gets sucked in, and even if I don't like the series, if I don't like the show, movie, I need that sense of closure.
Yeah,
and it is completely 100% or 100 times worse when I do actually enjoy whatever I'm watching, and I completely love what I'm watching now, and I am so frustrated. You can't watch. We have to wait. No.
Man, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. I'm so frustrated that we weren't able to see it, but we do thank Amazon Prime Video for letting us see the first 5 episodes. So we're excited about that, and we saw it before anyone else did. I mean, locally here in San Antonio, and it's cool because we actually got to see the Alamo. We got to see the Riverwalk.
I liked
those were little good scenarios that scenes that I loved.
I liked it, even though yes, it's set in San Antonio. I like that they didn't make that like in your face. Like they did like the skyline. They did like where Alma and her boyfriend are strolling on the Riverwalk, or where they're strolling next to the Alamo, and they kind of talk about it for 2 sentences. And I like that. It's not San Antonio is not the main focus of this. Yeah. But I do think, or I do appreciate all of those historical points being animated.
Yeah, agreed. And this series actually comes out September 13th, 2019, guys. So if you haven't already, be sure to check it out, Amazon Prime Video. And yeah, so let's go ahead and give our reviews of this. So far, the first 5 episodes. What's your review? 1 out of 10, Angela?
That's so hard because
since we haven't seen the remaining.
Because we haven't seen the remainder, so it could go either way. I would say for right now, what I've seen, it's probably a solid 7. Oh, dang. Because I don't want to bring it too high, and I have no idea how this is going to end. Yeah, exactly. Or how many more seasons they plan to bring. Yeah. So for right now, for the first 5 episodes, a solid 7 is where I'm
gonna give a solid 6. I'm really just I'm open to what new heights this show could really do for the last 3 episodes. I hope the climax really hits, because it really did hit a climax at the last episode we just saw, episode 5, and duly noted is that it was really climactic to where you're just like.
Well, I feel like the more it progresses, the trippier it gets. Yeah. Because
intense. It's a very intense show because you're trying to figure out who you are at the same time. You're trying to figure out what's going on.
It's not just that. It's not just. They have intense moments where she's doing these time lapses and jumps in time, and she even starts to explore more of these power things that she has. But it's more like they talk about deep topics. Like, it's just surprising. It's not all the time, but they do talk about it, and I can get behind that. Like, there's sometimes that some things we don't hear, like she has the implant, and so they talk about that and how it impacted her life. And I really do appreciate that, because we don't hear that a lot. We don't see that a lot. So I think like these deep topics, that's what makes it.
And it's very intense
for me.
That's what makes it intense, and that's why I like it. I really do enjoy it, because it does touch on a lot of sensitive topics that not everyone wants to talk about. And that's the good thing about it. I mean, I always say there's a series that reaches on new heights, seeing life on a third point of view and on sensitive topics. I'll say that. But yeah, so I do recommend this to any TV goer out there, any movie goer out there.
Give it a shot.
Give it a chance, guys.
And when it comes to the points where they start explaining like how logistically how that works, push through it.
You better. All right, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela at that Kelly end.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up on our review, guys. This is our review of the first 5 episodes. 3 episodes, the last 3 episodes air September 13th, guys. Be sure to check it out at Amazon Prime Video. Thanks again, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day.